So I was over on Trice's channel and saw him do this reverse vehicle, and the first thing that came to my mind was he chose the wrong vehicle. The second thing that came to my mind is, I think I can do that better. And to do that, I didn't want to just go a car. Something I've not done before. A forklift. Now, I could have made a mod body, but I decided to make this one out of 3D parts. And we're going to pick a very simple sort of body. One that's also very short, because forklifts are very short. Something like this, maybe. Even that might be a little too long, but we'll work with it for now. We'll make it out of the heaviest of materials. The engine should go in the back, but at least we can move it to the back. Then drop the quality down for the extra weight. Give this thing a piddly little engine. Something with long stroke, nothing else. And then make it out of the heaviest of materials again. Low cam profile because this thing needs to chug along, and a really low RPM. Now, we're probably going to want a lot more torque than that, so let's go with a turbocharger. And I think that'll do, because forklifts are geared down a huge amount. So we're getting like bottle power. That's somewhere around less than 30 horsepower probably. But our Newton meters are doing okay. Gear it down, this will be fine. That looks good enough, I suppose, to be a engine for a thing. Wow, I've never seen an intercooler like that. That's weird. But it does make sense. Oh wait, if I turned the intercooler all the way down, it gets rid of it entirely. But then, hold on, it pops up over here now. Oh, I think that's a glitch, but okay. And it hasn't hurt our power really at all, so we're good. Now, to get our score for industrial heavy-duty vehicle sort of thing, we're going to make sure that we choose the van body. I don't know why, just my autistic brain going, that's what you need to do. So we're going with it, even though right now, we're about to paint it invisible. And if we turn chassis invisible, perfect. Now, front-wheel drive, I'd love to have a high-low range. We might have to mod that in. We're probably going to have to do a lot of modding for this. We'll go with a manual because that's probably what it would have. A 4-speed. Doesn't need to go very fast, so that's fine. Going 100 kilometers an hour. We'll give it a manual locker for those options. Go some crossplies because it needs to be able to take extra weight, and chunky off-road. Those kind of do look like forklift tires, if I'm going to be honest. Yeah, this is probably as close as we can get. Brakes? Do they... Ooh. You know what? I don't know what they have. Let's assume drums to keep the price low. We may as well have the off-road skid tray to keep the vehicle weight heavy. Lots of brake airflow. We'll go to a 1-seater even though 2 seats are heavier, and we do want to have the weight up because it is a forklift and forklifts need to be heavy. Hydraulic power steering, no ABS on this bad boy. And, oh, you know what? Actually, safety. We will run in the heaviest safety possible. Then a progressive spring, probably a twin tube passive, and set this to utility. And these numbers are looking fine by me. There's nothing really special here. Now, I reckon our top speed is 138, but with rear wheel steering, I kinda don't like your chances, bucko. But we'll do it anyway. There, we've still got short gear ratios, and if we get into top gear, it'll take a while, but we'll eventually get there to our top speed. Now to make ourselves a forklift. What are they? What? I don't know what they look like, honestly. We've got wheel fenders on all of them around the front tire. Then a main body that runs flush at like a weird angle. We can do that. It's got to be frumpy at the front. Luckily, we've got our own. Woo, yay! And make these big enough to fit. Okay, I think the main body of the vehicle is going to be a hard yellow. That looks like urine. Now it looks more like it, except too shiny. There we go. This is the main body color for our vehicle now. I think I'm going to use a bumper bar of some sort to get the bottom valence area first. Specifically this one, I think. Feed you in, and I think we've got our first part. Methinks the rear wheels, yes, are still too far back. Forklifts are very short. Thank God we've got this bad boy. And we'll be saying hello to this bad boy again later on. Next, we're going to make this triangular shape. This is going to be a little bit tricky because it's also got other weird angles in it. I think we'll start with this. That works. And then this one to go here. That works close enough, I reckon. Now we want the rear end, and I think I'm going to grab this. I tell you, making a car from 3D parts like this does become a little bit tricky. You do have to use a lot of imagination. And then we're gonna fill out the donk with that. How does that look? I don't know. It'll do. Next, we're gonna have some, like, the two-tone paint job, because it's gotta look fancy on the interior part. So we're gonna have a foot area here, and then a base for the seat to go on. We'll start with a cube, make it two-tone, so this will be like a near black, and squidge you in. You know what? It's already looking pretty good with just that little change. I think right about now, actually, what I want to do is move that engine back. So unfortunately, we only had the choice of it being in the front. So let's move you all the way to the back where you belong. Done. Then we need a seating place. We'll give it this part again. And that's looking nice. We'll put a seat on there now. I'm thinking something, one of these, that'll do well. It looks like it's a leather sort of design that could be cast out of some sort of plastic. Now that we've got the front and the rear, what we should do is focus on this control cluster here. This one's a little bit clearer. So it's very flat and very horizontal, and it sits behind the front axle, because right at the front axle sort of area is where this lift gantry area sits. Interesting. All right. What shapes should we use? You know what? I might actually be able to pull off a dash with this. Oh no. That works pretty well if I do say so myself. Then we're gonna want some sort of classic jank steering wheel that does not look like it's from this century, except none of these really seem to work. Now, you really do have to reach forward for these things. It's been a long time since I've used a forklift frick. Done. Very happy with that. Now to make the rollover cage, methinks. So this comes up at a backward angle, then there's a roof bit, and then almost straight down with that. In fact, this one's even easier to look at. I'm noticing a lot of these are square tube. Is that round tube? Yeah, not really. But I only have bends in round tube, so yeah, we're gonna have to go with this. That is very high. Is that meant to be that high? I suppose it seems very high here too. All right, let's go with it. Now to make the gantry at the front. So it's a little hard to see what's going on here, but we got 3 metal beams which will slide up consecutively. I think we can do that, and then we'll create this little bit of a crash structure here, and then put the forks on. Yeah, you know what? That does work. Then crash structure. I got just the thing for that. This doodad. I know it doesn't look the same, but it'll do. Bring you into place, and that's basically good enough. Yay! Near enough is good enough. Now we need some forks. Do we have forks in here? Probably not. So they're fairly basic. There's nothing really much to see here. We'll just go the simplest route and use 2 cubes. Ooh. Yeah. You know what? That does look better than cubes. Okay, I think we're done with our forklift. Does it have any rear lights? I see lots of ventilation, and I am remembering now that there is a lot of ventilation in these things, but I'm not seeing any rear lights per se. Rear ventilation, I haven't thought this one through, if I'm gonna be honest. You know what? I think I can hide the fact that this was a mistake by coloring it in a different color. There we go. Now it looks like it was meant to be that way. Woo! Dear. Okay, we good. I think. Let's give it a name. And I'm thinking Suzumubachi. Because this is my Japanese brand, a lot of the Japanese car manufacturers started off by making industrial equipment. So I think that's fair enough. Now here's where the trickies come in. And this is gonna get real tricky because I don't know if this is going to work. Here's hoping. The plan is, and you've seen it before, we're gonna move the rear wheels and the front wheels, but to be in the opposite places. So front wheels to go to the front. Oh, this seems so wrong. There we go. Oh my God. Oh, that's a problem. What if we now move the rear wheels back? Oh no, it flips everything upside down. Oh, that's jank. I wonder if it exports like this. It probably won't, but we'll give it a try anyway. That's a problem. A problem which I am willing to see whether it's actually a problem in BeamNG. Well, I mean, it's already starting to break. As you can see, these nodes are not really in the right place. A collision mesh. Okay, so our wheels are actually there. Oh no. All right, which one is the steering wheels? Okay, it kept the right steering wheels. Unfortunately, everything is way too jacked up right now. That is, yikes. So we're gonna put these back in place. Oh, that could have been so good. Oh well. Alright, well, we have one other plan that we can do. What if instead we go into here? Suspension Y offset. We should have to move this about 2 meters up. Then we'll move this about -2 meters back and apply. That's gone the wrong way. Okay, fixed it. And what do we have? Rear wheel steering, yes! Except we've now got to tweak this into the right place. Oh, that's... Wow, this is so much easier than what I thought. Honestly, I thought this was going to be a nightmare. And that looks to be good. Okay, we now have rear wheel steering. Oh, fantastic. Except we should probably have rear wheel drive to keep this thing working the right way. Oh, that's awesome. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh dear god. Oh, yep, that's... Oh, this is gonna take a little bit to get used to. Because now the steering is inverted. Oh, that's a problem. Oh my god, and the suspension is way too squishy. Oh dear god. No. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh dear. This is awesome. Ah. Oh my god, okay. Okay, we're inverted steering. That's gonna take quite a bit to get used to. Is that... You know, it's been so long since I've used a forklift, I don't actually remember how this works exactly. So this could be correct in the inverted steering. It still kind of makes sense. I can think straight about it. Ooh. It's just if we start getting a bit stroppy and the thing starts going sideways, it becomes a problem. I'm thinking we're gonna re-export it, except this time we're gonna give it front drive, which is to say rear wheel drive, and yeah, I think everything else is good. I think, yeah, it's all good. Do we have a collision mesh that we can pick stuff up with? No, we don't. Unfortunately, to get rear-wheel drive, we have to go front longitudinal. That has automatically given us rear-wheel drive. So everything is fixed, I suppose. Let's send it over. Wait, hold on. One last thing. You'll notice on all of these that the front wheel is much bigger than the rear. But there's a bit of a trick here. If you now went and made the front tire bigger, you'd be doing it wrong. Yes, that's right. You'd already forgotten. Unless you're not me, and you have to go in and change this one. And this is going to also change the verticality of the vehicle when we switch the fronts and rears. Oh, this is gonna become a big problem. For now though, I think we'll just export it and we'll fiddle with things over in beamng to get the new height adjustment changed. Because if we drop the rear down now, what's gonna happen is when we put the small wheel at the back, it's gonna drop this down further. And then at the front, it's gonna exaggerate the difference. It's all just a big problem. But I am willing to make the sacrifice. Are you willing to make the sacrifice? To like and subscribe? I'm sorry, I'll get back to the video now. Alright, we've got it in here. Front suspension is 1.8, and the other suspension is -1.8. Wait, why is the rear still higher? Doesn't the bigger wheel lift it up? What is... Okay, and moving it does not change anything. I forgot to make the suspension stiffer. Oh, bugger. Let's just go ahead and hit race on that. You know, just get it super solid. All right, 15,000 times a charm. And yeah, we still have the suspension height issue. Hopefully, we could change the suspension height offset. Also, I just realized that the suspension anchoring is anchored like so far from where the suspension is, because this has beams attached to it to attach it to the body, but those anchor points are all the way back here, so that is a big issue. But whatever, let's change the Z offset on the rear because the front needs to be higher. Hopefully 10 centimeters is enough? That's gone the wrong way. We could fix that, and that's gone too far. Why didn't I just pick a simple video to make? Why am I doing this to myself? All right. Good enough. We have our forklift. Oh god, steering the wrong way. Yeah, I might fix that. The steering going the wrong way is arguably just wrong. But we do have our forklift now. Oh, yes. You know what? I really want the steering wheel to work on this thing. I also want to make the forklift functional, but I know all about how janky BeamNG's like custom keybind setup sort of stuff is. So yeah, we're not going there. Oh, to remember the steering to go the other way is counterintuitive and tricky to keep in my memory. And yes, as I thought, this thing does become sketch at higher speeds. That is a real problem. So if any of you don't know, if you're steering with the rear wheels, it really makes high speed sketch. But because I set this thing up to have a lot of oversteer, now it should have a lot of understeer. Because of the way the front and rear suspension are switched around. What is the weight of the vehicle right now? Control N. Oh, okay, still less than a ton, which I think is not quite right for a forklift. Goddamn, this thing is so super duper jankness. No! You know, I don't actually know how to steer a forklift in a drift. If I'm honest, do you steer more into it or less into it? That was mind-boggling. I don't know what I did. All I know is that it slowed me down a lot, and that was good enough, I suppose. Let's try here. We're gonna get a little bit of oversteer still. Okay, yep, that was probably the wrong way to do it. Let's rewind and try that again, shall we? I feel also maybe having a low range might be beneficial to this still. But let's go into the corner, and if we start to oversteer, we steer more. No, that doesn't help. Well, once it starts to oversteer, you're just kinda out of luck. I want to hot lap this. But where do we take this? Clearly, you bring it to the Nordschleifer, of course. I mean, where else would you take a vehicle like this? Oh dear, it's really slow off the line. We're gonna have diff locks on because a lot of these have diff locks anyway. And now, I've not really been driving this thing full hard, so I don't know how the steering is going to be. So far, I think I can handle it. My brain is tuned correctly already to the steering being kind of inverse, but, you know, not exactly inverse. I don't know. It's hard to describe because the front steering is not inverse. It's the rear steering. So even though I'm having to go the opposite direction, things are just kind of working the way in which my brain is telling me it's working. Much better than that Mouye experience. I don't know how that compares to this. But this isn't so bad, and you can try this out. I'll make the necessary adjustments so then this will be reversed by default and everything. If you go to try it on the BeamNG repository. There we go. Yeah. Ooh. Oversteering is going to be the big one. Just on corners like this, yep, okay. I'm going to have to do a lot of hot laps here. And I'm guessing that probably this is 15 to 20 minutes for a lap at least. I mean, it's a very slow top speed. What was it? 120 something is where I kind of set the gearbox to give out. It's like it's drifting every time it goes around the corner, and then the weight shift happens. That's fine. We got this. Come on, game. Good. And then the of the turbo as well. Just that little bit extra. But we're all good. Okay, we're into the technical parts of the track now. And this is where I'd say most of the technicalities are. Oh god, the brakes are terrific. Nope. That's fine. Oh, radiator's gone. This is going to make it really hard to see where we're going. Turn, you fat lard. That's fine. All right, good. This thing needs like, I don't know, say 50 to 60 times the amount of power it's got currently. Oh dear, this was a mistake. I shouldn't have brought it here. Why have I done this to myself? All right, I'm gonna have to go sweat into this because switchbacks, transitions of weight are the worst thing when it comes to going into unwanted drifts. And there's going to be a few of those in this lap as well. I can think of 3. We just went past one of them. Ah, damn it. That's fine. We're still good. Yeah, we're gonna reset as many times as we need to in this lap. Currently, I don't think we need... Whoa, what happened to the one fork? The hell? The dent we took was not that bad, was it? Oh dear. Yeah, all right. It's proving to be a little bit of a problem. Come on, that was a slow corner. Why? Why must you do this? I want to make the rear tires, more pumped up. That way, it'll have less traction and steering will have less of an effect on the car, especially at speeds. And hopefully that'll also reduce the braking on the rear, or brake effectiveness on the rear. So then that way it'll not likely oversteer on braking. Now we've got a high-speed sweeping corner. Yes, I know I said high speed. Ah! You know what I mean. Damn it. That's fine. Ah! All right, you know what? We're gonna reset. Oh, got mixed up on the steering angles just then. Now, I kind of want to try Mouillet's challenge, because I have Assetto Corsa, and then I want to compare it to this, because my brain is fairly quickly adapted to this. Currently, I've only had the one issue, and that was just like a couple of seconds ago. This is not that hard to turn my steering around in my mind. And I also will go ahead and say that this has come out so much better than Trize's video, where they did just a weird job. If you are going to do this in the future yourself, there is much better ways of doing what he did. And I might do a video on that one day, oh god! Like when I turned my ute body upside down. What was that, like almost a year ago now? Yeah. Oh god. I think we are undamaged realistically. No, we are pulling a little bit to the left. Oh, okay. You can be rather smooth with the steering, and the car does all right. We are pulling, yeah, a little too much to the left. And our next incident, which will come, trust me, it will come! We might reset. Can we keep going? No, tried to do a reversey, didn't work, let's reset. All right, brum brum, pretend that didn't happen. But I suppose you can drive this as well and just see how, I'm gonna use the word problematic this is. Oh dear, but don't mind me. I'm just doing the stupidest thing in the world. Oh, the suspension feels a little too bouncy. No! High speed oversteer. We're all good. Ugh. Good, we didn't actually crash. Oh my god. I wonder if there's actually been a forklift that's gone around the Nordschleife. Bring up a clip if there is something of that.
Oh, it actually turns out that Mr. Jimmy I Don't Respond to Emails Broadbent had actually done this about, what, 2 years ago? Whoops. But this doesn't really count because it's on Assetto Corsa, and Assetto Corsa's physics are about as accurate as a Nerf gun at a 100-meter range.
Also, for the version which I'm going to release on beamng, I'm probably going to have an actual rotating steering wheel, and I'm probably going to fix the collision mesh, and I'm going to have a crack, maybe, at making the front forks articulate. Why won't you reverse? Whew. I think reverse gear is a little too long. But I doubt that we're going to be able to get what we need. Also, what I'm going to do probably is put more beams on the suspension components so then they are sprung in the right places. Because currently, the front suspension is sprung to the rear and vice versa for the rear suspension. It's probably adding to the bouncy feeling of a forklift, which would usually be, you know, considerably slower than 108 kilometers an hour. But also, my brain is just going completely numb at the moment, trying to just focus on... I think I might have to go full sweat mode for the rest of this lap to see if I can... No, don't rub up against the wall. Oh, that's the problem. If you try to drive away from the wall, your steering suspension is going to move towards the wall. Ah! Oh, no, my brain stuffed it up. I steered the wrong way. Well, that's 2 out of however many turns we've done, and this is going to be a problem. Weight transition, corner at a decent speed. It wants to spin. Oh, damn it. It went anyway. I tried so hard to stop that, but there's just no stopping it apparently. All right, full sweat mode. Alright, you know what? Sweat mode has failed me. Jesus. When it starts to get a little bit stroppy and going sideways and spinning out and all that kind of jank, it just becomes a whole different beast, and it just doesn't want to play nice. And my brain just goes, turn left to fix drift. Like that, no. It's the wrong way. I think. I don't know. There's a lot of learning to understand how to fix drift in a car like this. I might even pull over mid-lap for a pit stop. To be, oh, no, I think I turned the steering the wrong way. All right, mid-track, we're gonna go in, Control W, tuning tire pressure, front tires, super high pressure. And hopefully our lap will not stop. Good, okay. God, we're at 9 minutes 33. Like, this is about the time in which you would be finishing doing a lap. But this, nah. We're not even halfway, probably. I don't know how actually far we are into this. Oh, you know what? I could have paused the game. I keep forgetting that this game has a pause function, but that's fine. We had a pit stop mid-race, and currently, it does actually feel a little bit more stable. Might just be psychosomatic, but I feel a little less sketch right now. It doesn't quite feel as scary. Look at this. We're going 94. And barely anything. Okay, this is a tricky corner at the best of times, despite even lockups. Oh, okay. Good. Oh, nice. That felt a lot better. I fear that maybe I made the gearing a bit short, though. But I probably should have made it shorter. Maybe gone 7 seats. Nah. Forklifts have, what, 1 gear usually? And it's usually something more like an automatic compared to a manual in more modern ones, because they're usually some sort of hybrid system where they run a battery, but then have a little bit of a generator on there, sometimes if they're longer shift type things. But batteries are fairly good for forklifts, because you do want a lot of weight in forklifts. So you have a big chunky bit of metal on the rear of the vehicle doing nothing other than just adding ballast to the rear of the vehicle so that it doesn't tip over when it lifts up something on the front. Or you can have an actual functional rear end, which is batteries, and then have the vehicle do pretty well, which is why electric forklifts are fairly common actually, and have been for a very long time. Do I dare do an EV conversion on this? Nah, I can't be bothered. That's too much effort. Right now, we're struggling to go 75 kilometers an hour on a slight incline. This vehicle is very, very weak. Come on. Full speed. You know, yeah, this is a lot better. Maybe it's because I'm going uphill, but this feels incredibly stable right now. I almost want to make it more stable by decreasing the front tire pressure and fixing whatever this brake problem is. This brake issue, where it locks up at the drop of a hat, has become a bit of a bane of my existence, because I'm not actually even braking that much for it to lock up. Though it already does feel very stable. I think actually we've got it at a nice balance. All right, here we go. This is the next, usually what is a weight transfer section of the track. But we're doing okay because this vehicle was so slow that it didn't have to go into there fast. How is the front of my vehicle looking? Good. It's all good. We're all fine. My usual braking marker here is the second tree shadow heading up to here. The last one here. That's usually my brake marker, but I doubt that's going to help us. Nah. Oh, I don't know about going into the carousel with this thing. It's sketch. Nah, alright. Couldn't keep it in there. That's not fun. Not fun at all. But we're all fine. We'll just keep it going. Nice and steady. Keep it to minimal crashes. I've not had a single crash ever since I changed the rear. Because I want to say the front tires, but it's actually the rear tires. But yeah, you get the idea. You know what? Skip ahead to the next interesting part. Okay, well, the next interesting part was literally the next corner. Damn it. Probably should have stayed off the curb, but my brain was like, I don't know how to get away from the curb. All right, fast forward again. Okay, literally another corner. Okay, going faster, this thing is a real problem. Let's go in, pause the game this time, go to our pit stop. We're going to decrease the pressure on the rear but actually front tires. 26 psi, that's good enough. Then we're gonna reduce the brake pressure on both the front and rear, but more off of the front because we don't want the rears to lock up. And apply. Oh no, hopefully I didn't just accidentally stuff up the timer. We're at 1423. Okay, good. The timer hasn't frozen. Let's also turn on the rear diff. Yes, hitting exit will usually reset the timer, but I think because the game was frozen in a pause state, that it didn't actually do that. Let's try out. We're doing okay so far. Oh dear. Going into this corner, 91, that's the drift speed. Yep. All right, going at about 90 or more. I can't do a reversey. I tried to do a reversey, didn't work. Okay, that's the third time that I've stuffed up the steering angle, but probably because I was looking at it from the other direction that time as to why that became a mistake. Oh dear. Oh no. Wow, we started drifting there at a much slower speed. I'm glad that I didn't stay with front wheel drive in the automation build, otherwise driving on the rear wheels would make this so much worse. Okay. Got through there. Not apexing at all, but I wouldn't expect much of an apex anyway. We're all good. Look at that! Fantastic, bro. Absolutely gorgeously done. All right. And then next high-speed corner. A little bit of a drift. We're all fine. Yeah, okay, you do counter steer, the same sort of feeling. Oh god. Alright, let's fast forward to the next interesting part. God damn it. I was like 2 corners away. Reset, let's go. Alright. You know what? We're just gonna skip all the spins for now and just fast forward through the whole thing. Because, oh my god. You know what? I might have put transmission one now that I've heard it. In for all of the gears. That could be a thing I do. Alright, couldn't make that carousel either. And here we got the final corners. We are almost at the drift speed, which is about 90 kilometers an hour. We're at 80-ish. Nope, there we go. Alright. It's almost completely unavoidable. Oh dear. Stop. Okay, I forget. I have to press brake when going. I'm so used to being able to do reversies that you just can't do a reversey with a rear steering vehicle like this. It's not what you want. You're doing like a forward Z, usually, which is what you would probably call a spin in this thing. Oh dear. Well, we're gonna fang it all the way down here. Apparently, the top speed of this was meant to be 130 kilometers an hour, but I capped it at about 120. Are we gonna get anywhere near that before we reach the end? I kind of doubt it. It's getting a little bit sketchy on the straightaway, but not too bad. Yeah, we're going 120 now. Looks like we got plenty more to go, but we're going uphill, so it's going to suffer. And you know what I said this was going to be like a 15 to 20 minute lap? Dead on. Oh my god, I was 3 seconds short of a 20-minute lap. And stopped. Oh, this episode has been an adventure. Oh my god. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this, because I most certainly have enjoyed this. Even though it's been a real pain in the butt with all the spin arounds, it's been a rather interesting experience. You can try it out yourself, or to make one of your own of these sorts of things, or you can go into the BeamNG repository. This will be available eventually. That comes down to however long it takes for the BeamNG devs to actually get to and fix this. Oh, we're going off. But I don't want to steer too much because that'll just become a real issue. Damn it! I wish there was some sort of way to expedite your uploads, like proof that you're not dodgy by doing only good uploads, or because we're content creators, I know that puts us on a bit of a different level and we don't want to have elitism. I get it, but because I want to have mine up as soon as possible, I kind of try to time it with the upload of the video, which is near impossible because when they get around to it is almost arbitrary. BeamNG people, I don't know if it's the devs that do it. Oopsie daisies. If you could come up with a solution for having like timed release, yeah, give us like a timed release dates. Then if we want to hold off the release on it, it'll then be able to coincide with the upload of our video. That would be fantastic. Or just give us a free pass because we're content creators and we're elitists. But yeah, for now, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. Oh, shoot.